stick. That'll cool your dog off. Hey everybody, MinerBiker here. Me and both of the dogs are up at Anthony's Flat in East Willow Creek, just to the north and east of Salina, Utah. We're up here gonna go and ride the Dead Horse Ridge Trail, which is a segment of the Great Western Trail up here close to the south end of Skyline Drive. So what we're gonna do is, from here at Anthony's Flat, we're gonna climb up Anthony's Flat Trail from here up onto Dead Horse Ridge where it connects to the Great Western. Then we'll take the Great Western out along the ridge, drop down to the Old Post Road, and then connect back to here again. Should be fun. Just OHV trails, but they are pretty good bike trails. Beautiful forest, beautiful time of year right now at the end of May. Still quite a bit of dog water, and actually riding on the fat bike today, Fezzari Kings Peak. So should be fun. Steep, kind of loose climbing up out of Anthony's. Another reason we brought the fat bike. It handles this steep, loose stuff really well because low gearing and insane traction. It's just fun to get out on it from time to time, even in the summer. It's just crazy what this thing can winch its way up. Nice little meadow up here, some water, the dogs. Great with all the dandelions. It's a good ride to do now. Earlier in the year, around midsummer, so they start putting cows up here. It's nowhere near as pretty and nice after that. Cows really tend to kind of put a damper on things, tear stuff up, make a big mess. Personally, even as someone who grew up on a cattle ranch, I personally do not think that public grazing or grazing on public land, especially like for beautiful forest land like this, is I don't think it makes any sense. You're taking care of a few cattle ranchers at the expense of everybody else who wants to use their land. Look at this beautiful, nice little pond. Lots of dog water. Smells like swamp. Now the dogs smell like swamp dogs. Climbing on up. It's pretty steady. Some pretty steep spots. There's spots where it levels out for a bit. For the most part, it's just a steady grind up this. The fat bike does good with it. It's so low geared. You can just kind of settle into a fairly easy gear and just crank it. Plus that big soft squishy back tire handles this loose gravel really well. How pretty is this little meadow with aspen trees and dandelions? Absolutely beautiful. Looking down where we just come from, up where we're going, now the trail starts getting more into heavy forest and stuff. It's a lot more shaded. I love all these aspens. All the green grass and growth coming in. Little yellow dandelions. It is beautiful. As far as four-wheeler trails go, this ain't bad to ride. It's a little steep in spots. That's good for you. Oh, it's so nice to come up here with no cows. That looks nasty. Lovely dog. When you're stuck in there, I ain't coming to get you. It's about the steepest climb on this trail. Another nice thing about riding it now, really early in the summer, is the four-wheelers have just barely been able to get up here recently as well, so it's not near as torn up and loose as it will be here in a month or two or three. So you got a lot better traction than you normally have later in the year. Yep. Almost up onto the ridge where we'll hit the Great Western up here. Alright, here we are at the Great Western. So hanging left here, that takes you up to Skyline Drive Road where it forks down that way into Salina Creek and that way down East Willow Creek. Got Mary's Nipples right up here and White Mountain. And if you keep turning to the right here, this takes you out on the Dead Horse Ridge, which is where we're going. And then looking back down this way where we just climbed up from, we got the Pawvant Mountain Range across the way there. Absolutely beautiful. It's a little breezy up here. The old wooden sheep fences are cool. That's Mary's Nipple. Pretty prominent little mountaintop here to the northeast of Salina that you can see from quite a ways away. This is the White Mountain up here. My wife and I actually did a video riding up on top of White Mountain last year. You check that out on the channel. Off out that way. Clear off over the other side of that horizon over there is where you drop out into the center of a swell. And again, looking back to the west, down into the valley out there in the Pawvant Mountains and up this nice steep hill we're going to climb up right now. This one's a little loose. Where the benefits of being on the fat bike really shine through. When it gets loose like this, you get that monstrous contact patch with that back tire. Oh yeah. Piece of cake on this thing. Winch up that. Yeah. There's a good view. This is looking across at Mount Terrell, across the way there, and Fish Lake High Top sticking up behind it. Oh, it's pretty. That's Hillguard Mountain right there. Come up this way again, San Rafael Swales just off beyond that horizon, White Mountain up here. This is Salina Creek down below us where I-70 runs. It's probably about the prettiest four-wheeler trail you're ever gonna find a ride on. Don't think just because it brought the fat bike doesn't mean we can't get after it. We will. Fat bikes are a lot more capable than most people give them credit for anyways, but especially going through this 120 mil Manitou Mastodon fork on this thing. A regular old obese hardtail party up here. You'll get after it. Yeah, boy. Fat bikes can shred too. Good job, buddy. Nice. Cruising on the fat bike. Such a good time. Whew, yeah. So much fun. Hey, like dog water. Lots of steep, short climbs on this. It just kind of goes up and down. Doesn't just go along the top of the ridge. It kind of runs along the edge of it and does quite a bit up and down until you get out kind of to the face of the ridge, and then it really drops the last ways. Whew. Yeah. Oh, this is gorgeous. Man, it's pretty. I love forest like this. The green undergrowth with the aspen trees is amazing. definitely a little loose. She grinds on up it. No water. Good pups. Alright, this climb we're starting now is a bruiser. Nice Forest Service looks like, or somebody just come through here with a chainsaw. Several fresh cut trees so far. Nice to have them cleared off. Oh, steep. Steepest part right here of this climb. Oh, yeah. There we go. I don't climb for a minute. Tons of choke cherry bushes along through here. Way too early in the season for there to be any choke cherries. Too bad, you're awful good. One more little steep climb down and dusty. Water hole in there. Another pretty big pond up here in a minute. Yeah. Lean them big tires. They got side knobs, take them in. For a nice swim, huh? Yep. Nice swim. Hey, want a stick? That'll cool your dog off. Good job, bud. Bring it back. Hard to swim with your mouth open holding the stick. Hard to not inhale water, huh? Hard to not inhale the water. That's a good boy. Almost there. Good job, buddy. Nice shake. Such a pretty little pond hidden down in here. That has water in it year round. So even later in the summer when it's even hotter and drier, you can still count on there being dog water there, which is always nice when you ride with dogs to have reliable water sources. This is one of two more really steep loose climbs. See if we can get her. This one is probably the steepest of all. Even the great fat bike can't keep traction. Woo. It's tough because you're climbing something so steep. You need to be in your very lowest gear to have any chance of having enough torque. But then in that low of a gear, you have so much torque, it's really easy to break your tire loose. Last one. This one's probably the loosest of the bunch. Oh, freak. That one rock got me already. All it takes is one little pebble and boom, kicks you right out. You know it's bad when even a big low pressure fat tire still can't find enough grip. Oh well. There's nothing wrong with walking a spot or two. This is looking off to the west, down on I-70, down at the Gooseberry exit. Across the way, that's Glenwood Mountain. Fish Lake Mountain's hiding right behind the trees there. Off towards the Tushers, the Pavant, town of Aurora's down there. And up here's Mary's Nipple, White Mountain. And off to the east, you can actually see the Henry Mountains way off in the distance. And the San Rafael swells out over the top of that horizon. Beautiful. Just down in there is where the pond was. This is the flat that we rode through right before we started up the really steep climbs. There's Hillguard Mountain over there at the top of Salina Creek. We got some pretty good snowbanks on this, hidden on the back side of this. Now we get a big old downhill, dropping down the old post road. And you connect that back over to East Willow Creek and Anthony Flat. Now you want some water? I'm gonna get you some water, bud, if you need it. Yeah, dude. Oh, it's a fun downhill. Drifting on that powder. That's the end of that section of the Great Western. So this is called the Old Post Road. If you go up this way, it drops you down into what's called Water Hollow. Said it like a local. Drops you down into Water Hollow, which then connects you into Salina Creek. And you turn to the right here, and this will take us back up over the drainage divide and drop us back to Anthony Flat and East Willow Creek. It's actually pretty amazing how capable a fat bike is coming down and stuff like that. And it's pretty much as long as it doesn't get so rough at the back end, just gets kind of overwhelmed simply by the fact that it's a hardtail. It actually stays really composed, has really good grip, and it feels different, obviously, than a regular bike, like leaning into corners and stuff. But it's surprising how well you really can actually push this thing into corners and stuff. And these fat tires got side knobs too. They can lean over and dig in. They feel a little weird doing it, mostly because by the time you lean over and get on your side knobs, your contact patch is now like 2 inches out of center because your tire is almost 5 inches wide. So it definitely has a little bit different feel than on regular size tires. It's crazy how capable it is. And that fork up in the front just keeps that front end planted, keeps your steering under control. I wish that it was a little slacker in the front. It'd be nice and fun to have a fat bike with a little more aggressive geometry. This has, with the fork on it, somewhere around probably 68-ish degree head tube angle. I'd love it if I could put an angle set in there and get another degree or two out of it, slacker out just a hair. Would be sick. But unfortunately, one of my knocks on this bike, if anything, is that Fezzari opted to use an integrated headset on it, as in, instead of having bearing cups that are pressed in, which then you can also knock out and press in an angle set headset. On this, the cups are integrated right into the frame, so your bearing cartridges set right into the frame instead of into the cups, which works. But the downside is you can't put in an angle set. Maybe they did that on purpose because they knew if they put in a regular headset, people would slack this bike out and then push it beyond its limits and risk damaging themselves, which I probably would, but it would still be an awful lot of fun. I also wish the seat tube angle was just a little steeper. It's a little slack. Yeah, dog water. Nice little creek, nice little pool. Lay down in, get a drink, cool off, all that good stuff. Basically, I just wish this bike had like aggressive or like mid-travel trail bike geometry instead of cross-country bike geometry. It's basically got the geometry of a cross-country bike. It'd be awesome if it had the geometry of like a mid-travel trail bike. But still, for what it is, it's insanely capable and so much fun. This is a muddy mess through here. These four-wheelers are torn it up. Oh well. Too bad they gotta go and rip everything to pieces. Never liked four-wheelers. Not so much. It's not that I don't like the machines themselves, but I really do not like the attitude that comes with them. Even more so with the side-by-sides, because frankly it is somewhat impressive technology what the manufacturers are able to do with the new side-by-sides and stuff. But the thing I can't stand is the attitude that breeds with a significant portion of the users, where they have this powerful, fast, incredibly capable machine, and so that gives them the attitude of I can go anywhere I want, go as fast as I want, do whatever I want without any regard for other trail users, without any regard for necessarily rules and regulations as to where they're supposed to ride and not. not every road or every trail has to be a racetrack or something. They actually build racetracks for stuff like that. Don't come up here on the forest and do it. I can't count how many times I've been absolutely just blasted with dust by four-wheelers who, with absolutely no regard, will come by you on a road like this or something, not even slow down, just barrel right on by, blowing dust in your face, not even care. Oh well, I haven't passed a single one today, except for the couple that were there by the camping areas in Anthony Flat. Other than that, we've had all ourselves. Cannot complain today. It's been beautiful and wonderful. It still is. So this is the drainage divide between Salina Creek and East Willow Creek. Right here on the left, that's continuation of the Great Western Trail. That's the Steve's Mountain segment. Take that, it'll drop you down by the Gooseberry exit off I-70 in Salina Creek, and then you can continue it on up the other side up towards Fish Lake. And now we're up over the drainage divide and start dropping back down towards Anthony's. Cruising on down. Do a couple little short uphills. Don't go too fast. I don't want to run my dog out too much. Out of the big fat tires on this hard packed dirt. Just like home. Purr. Just a little viewpoint up here. Nice pretty view. Mary's Nipple up ahead. And you can actually drop off this four-wheeler trail on the back here, and it'll connect you right back to the road down here. There's a little thunderstorm going there. Hope we get some rain home. Dry. And back on the road. Funny, you stop and wait for them, and when they catch up, little Enya dog, she stops and will wait with me to take a break. Hope just goes right on by and keeps going. He's just like, man, I'm gonna keep going, get a head start, I'll sneak the truck. We'll catch back up to him later. Manual fat bike. He's got like 455 mil chain stays or something like that to fit those that big old tire. Makes it tricky to manual. Alrighty, back at Anthony Flat. There's the truck parked in the shade. Gotta say the fat bike killed it on that ride. There's those two spots that were just too loose and steep to climb even on this, but I've never been able to get them on any other bike either. It's the bad thing about four-wheeler trails. Four-wheelers tend to kind of just go straight up stuff. Yeah, Oak Kings Peak, done good.
It's a fun and just silly capable bike. Surprisingly capable what it can do. How well it can handle that stuff, especially the downhill stuff. It's fun.
Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. That's a fun loop. Yeah, it's not bike specific trails and not single track, but as far as four-wheeler trails go, that's about as beautiful as you're gonna get. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, give a share, give a comment, and check out some other videos. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, I invite you to do so. Thank you for watching. Keep digging up new places to ride, and give a shout out for Hook the Trail Dog and any of the trail dog.